This episode of Power Women of the Trades is also brought to you by Forrest Perry of Forrest Perry Digital Marketing. Want to generate more leads for your service business? Trust his team to deliver quality new customer leads and protect your brand online. Check out perrymarketing.com today.
Most businesses' online presence is boring, and by being boring, they're losing out on potential sales and customers. Being interesting and exciting is what draws customers in and gets them to buy from you. But it's hard to be interesting online when you're focused on running your business and taking care of your customers. It doesn't have to be this way. We have the key to unlocking the solution to your problem. Key Heart Marketing can help take your business from boring to brilliant on social media. We can vouch for them. They run our podcast socials. If you want to have a strong social media presence that allows customers to know, like, and trust you, connect with Key Heart Marketing at keyheartmarketing.com.
Rival Digital is a full-service premier digital marketing agency for the home services industry. We offer everything from website design, search engine optimization, online advertising, public relations, and more. If you're interested in learning more about the services we offer for contractors just like yourself, head on over to rivaldigital.com, and we look forward to chatting with you. Hey everyone, this is Eric Thomas with Rival Digital, and I am proud to announce that we are the newest sponsor for the Power Women of the Trades podcast. We've been a big fan and supporter of the show for years, and we are just very excited and very honored for the opportunity to now be one of the podcast sponsors. So make sure you check out their page and subscribe to the podcast and listen in on wherever you get your podcast episodes from.
Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
So you touched on legacy a little bit earlier. What legacy do you hope to build for your team and the people that come after you?
Oh my gosh. I hope that we can leave an incredible legacy. We say we are the best team doing the best work for the best customers. And best means so many different things to everyone. We broke it down to build, excel, serve, teach. And I think that can be applied not only to our team and our professions, but also your life personally. So for us, we want a team that builds each other up, builds communities around themselves, their family, around this organization, and then physically builds badass shit. Bleep that out if you have to, but that is what we're doing, building an incredible team they're proud of, excel, not only excelling at the work that you're doing, the technical applications that we're working on. We could work on things from the 1930s or stuff that is like cutting edge technology that we're installing because we do new construction as well as service. So you have to excel. You also have to excel as a person. We want everyone to be their personal best. Skilled tradesmen and women are literally what keeps this entire country, this world running. Like, you deserve to be your personal best. You deserve to enjoy a life you want to you want to get outside of work and enjoy and live. So we're really big about giving people those opportunities, be available and be there for the moments in life that matter. My dad was at almost all of my sporting events as a kid, at all my graduations. That's what I wish for everybody on our team. We have a lot of parents who coach their soccer teams, their swim teams, their wrestling teams. Work can wait. We've got a whole team of people who are there to support each other. And that kind of rolls into our serve piece, serve your team, serve our customers, serve the communities. It goes into so much. And I think that these hardworking men and women really deserve the best. So we're going to be there to serve you so that you can then serve yourself and the communities around you that you've built. And then it just trickles right into our teach. We are huge on training, continuous education, and allowing everyone to grow the careers that they really want. but we also don't want anyone to feel like they want to be exclusive with their information, right? We push everyone to teach their apprentice, teach each other, a dispatcher, show your coworker a tip and trick. So I really think that there's so much, show some of our customers how to do things. We work in
We're
a lot
not
of commercial
gatekeeping.
buildings. Yeah, don't be a reservoir, right? Be a river. And I always use that. I'm a huge angler. So we always don't be a reservoir, be a river, help your team. Don't dam things up, try and catch things further upstream, because then it always affects our team downstream. We're really big on that. So just communicating at large in an educational standpoint so we all can learn. And I think that that's helped us out a ton. So that type of culture, I think, is something, and the legacy around that, if we're successful in it, and that's our goal, that really can go for generations and generations. And I really feel like the skilled trades as a whole deserves much better than what we're getting in a lot of ways. And I'll be very excited if we can kind of go against the grain and disrupt some of the stuff that we're seeing right now, and be a great solution for the skilled tradesmen and women so that they can do work that they're proud of and they feel good about doing.
You're so cool. I love all of this. You're doing some really good stuff up there. And I hope that your company and all of the people working for you guys know how great it is to have a leader like you in an organization like that. So I think a lot aspire to be like that, and some people fake it. Right. And you can tell that you really, truly have that passion, and that you are changing what the trades looks like, at least in your area. Right. And so I think that's incredible, and you should be really proud of yourself.
Thank you. I'm seriously so blessed. I can't stress it enough. The opportunity from my dad and the team to allow me to kind of, start working with everybody. It's tough. When I was a 25th employee, I think most people had been there for 23 years. We've got phenomenal tenure. So there's a little bit of a shift there, but we've got a really exciting team. And I joke, I'm like, I woke up like this. I woke up with this much energy, pumped about the skilled trades, loving everybody who works here. But what makes me so excited is builders build builders is our big phrase for our team internally. I can't talk to every single person every day. I used to when we had 25 people, everyone was talking to me. It was so much easier. And so now we have to make sure this culture goes outside, beyond my door and the 20 people I can talk to in a day. How do you really build this so everyone feels a part of it and sees what we're talking about? And it's so fantastic. Last night, we had one of our vendors rent out a brewery for us, and all of our team got invited to go, have drinks and bites and hang out. And it was really, really exciting. And a newer electrician for us, I'd only spoken to a couple times. I catch him at the tap wall, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, have you been having any issues? Is there anything I can help you with? Blah, blah, blah. And we're just talking. And he was like, no, to be honest, he's like, everyone here has just been so nice, and everybody wants to be helpful with anything I've needed. And, the dispatcher's been so helpful, and my manager, and he just rambled on. And I was like, oh my God, I am so happy. I'm like, you've made my entire night. I was like, because that is my hope and dream. But knowing that it's made it to you and you're seeing that in action every single day, my heart exploded. I didn't hit the ground, but I almost did.
You have to take those moments and try to remember every word that was said to you. We'll have some people that'll send a message. I remember one specifically where the guy went into our all company chat and was like, I've never worked for a company like this. This is the type of company everyone should be. And I screenshot it, because sometimes I need to go back and read it to remind me of our why, because sometimes the days are hard. And so you just got to bottle that up and remember the really good, because that same guy might in 3 weeks be like, this sucks, and you're like, hang on, what happened, and I always remind myself, we're just people. They're all people. And we just have things that happen sometimes. And anyways, that's really exciting. I love that you have that experience.
I think it's like there's a huge difference between having a bad day or a bad, we call them jobs, like individual work orders. So like a bad day or a bad job versus having like a bad employer. And I think when you can really make sure that like everyone's going to have that bad day, but as long as like your core exists and is strong, you can still touch people even on and communicate with them, like even on their bad days, and kind of like pull them out of that funk. We all have them. So, have some leniency, have a heart with that. But it's been a cool like growth period for me. Cause I remember way back in the day when I was kind of just getting started, I would see somebody like maybe wearing one of our hoodies out in the wild, or if I ever considered wearing a hoodie in the wild, I'd be like, oh no, like, I don't know. I don't want to run into him. I don't want to go talk to that guy. I don't know who he is, blah, 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 blah. Now, like we have a whole swag shop and everyone loves our swag. We have people who ask me all the time, like even people who aren't customers or employees, but on our team, they're like, can we have some of your swag? This is badass. And I'm like, oh my God, I love it. And now I wear my old swag all the time. So it's just been like, this huge growth for myself of really knowing the quality, the team, the people, the work that we're doing. And we're going to have, things that go sideways, but I have the confidence that everyone on our team, we literally have a give a shit award. So like we do have a whole team that gives a shit because it's very competitive and we are going to fix it. So like I'll wear a jersey, or we act like we're wearing jerseys, but if I wear some of our gear out in public, like it's a ton of fun. And I like running into people now. I had one experience where I did not necessarily enjoy running into the person recently. I was at a store with my mom and I didn't even think about it, but we were buying like bras and underwear. And the lady and I'm wearing a Rolls hoodie, and the lady comes up to me and she goes, oh my God, do you know Rolls Mechanical? And we're like, yeah, we do. And she goes, my son-in-law works there. And I'm like,
great.
oh no.
Panties. Yeah.
You work there? I'll have to tell him. And I'm like, I'd really rather you didn't. And she's like, why? What do you do there? And I'm like, well, I'm the VP and this is my mom. She's the owner's wife. And I'm like, I really don't want like one of my service plumbers knowing what underwear I'm buying. So if you could mind not telling them.
Funny. That's so funny. That's so funny.
I died.
I love that though. And you just gotta, it sounds like you have like come a long way with like your ownership of like your position too, because I can see like future, like I don't want to be like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, like always so tied to the brand or whatever. Now you're not tied to it. Like you're it, you're living it. You are the brand. And now it just doesn't matter what's on your shirt, right? You're living it. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, what is one piece of advice to close us out here that you wish you had earlier in your career?
I would say network as much as you can. Reach out to people in similar positions, similar companies, across the country. I think we're blessed that we're in a time period where there is a lot of accessibility with people all over the place. It was definitely an old school mentality that I feel like I initially, especially in the commercial space, I don't know what it is, but like people do not get out and play very much. And I think there's a lot of incredible operators, dispatchers, call center managers. Like there's a lot of incredible people in our industry and you can learn so much. When I first kind of got started, met two women who were mentors for me, and it was massive. And then I feel like I've been doing a lot of networking more intentionally as well within the last couple of years. And it's been so beneficial. Not only on like a personal level to like share some stuff with people in our space, because you deal with some stuff that you're just like, nobody trained me for this. This is not in any HR training. My MBA did not qualify me for this, So being able to talk to other operators and talk about that stuff, but then also best practices, what's working for you, what isn't. I think that'd be huge, and it can be scary, but networking is scary for everybody. So just go for it. If you're going to do it.
I would say on that with the networking piece of it too is that I think sometimes people are scared because they're going to talk to someone that knows everything. And I promise you, whoever you're talking to, They don't know everything. It doesn't matter how long they've been doing it, how like they have something to learn from you. And even if you feel unqualified, I cut myself short so many times where I wouldn't like immerse myself into a room and talk to people because I was afraid I was going to look stupid because I didn't know something or, and it's like, what I found is it doesn't matter how long people have been doing this. They don't know. They don't know everything. They don't like, there are things that are going to come up that they're going to be like, I have no idea. I call my friend sometimes. I'm like, what is happening? Like what is happening? And sometimes she's on the other line. Leslie's one of them that I'm just like, what in the world? Or I tell her something and she's like, I could have never imagined you calling me and telling me that today. And I'm like, same, right. But it's just, again, and I say this so many times on the show, we're dealing with people. Mm-hmm. And every day people, good and bad, are affecting our day to day and how we control our behaviors but like sharing those experiences. I remember one of the first times that I shared with someone that I was like really struggling with something and I felt like she was going to be like, you're stupid. I mean, she would have never, but you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean you don't have that figured out? And she's like, oh my gosh, we are the same. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? We talked about payroll on this show one time and even this far into it. And I was like, payroll sucks, man. Like, I don't know. And someone messaged us and was like, thank you for saying that payroll is a shit show. Like, I thought I was the only one. And I'm like, no, I promise you, there are people doing big business that are still trying to figure things out. And don't be afraid to talk.
I think it helps. It validates some of the stuff that you're struggling with and dealing with. And I also think it helps. I was networking with some businesses that are substantially bigger than me. And I was like, what do you guys do for procurement and inventory? And they were like, don't ask. Like, you don't want to model this, And I'm like, ooh. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, they were humongous compared to me.
You know what I've learned about inventory? Nobody has it figured out. Nobody. 5 years ago, we went to Texas to go and specifically tour 4 different shops to figure out their inventory process so we could replicate it. We came back with nothing. We all got there. They all knew why we were coming. And we all got there. They're like, And so 5 years later, we are still here and we still have a shit show with our inventory. And it's hard because it's moving so fast, and we're not inventory freaking specialists. And then do we have a budget for an inventory like elite manager? We probably should, but that's going to be expensive. And there are so many pieces just like that you think I'm going to network with this person that's got this figured out and they just don't.
Yeah. Well, our business is so complex. There's so much that goes into it. So yeah, getting the validation, but then sometimes you do get best in class advice. And I always just say like, I'd be hesitant for anybody. Like my little asterisk on my piece of advice of networking and taking advice is like, actually ask them like in-depth questions and see if the person who's like claiming to be a guru or really kicking ass at a certain thing, like if it's actually real. Cause I can't tell you how many times I've had, even when we were going through looking at a new CRM, I would do reference calls with other contractors. And at one point I actually had a contractor that I followed back up with. They told me, oh no, well, actually it can't do that. It's been a major issue for us. So then I went back and managed to figure out what the solution was for it, came back to this individual and said, hey, like if you do this, I think it'll fix it. And they were like, oh my God, this has been a huge issue for us for years. Since you've been so kind, I should let you know X, Y, and Z. And it was like all bad news. And I was like, oh my God, It was an eye-opening experience for me because I always joke that I'm not smart enough to lie. Like I can't keep track of things. We're dealing with a lot of stuff. Like I'll tell everyone the truth, as much as I can to the fullest extent, like open book over here. But I would definitely take every piece of advice with a grain of salt, ask very specific questions, consider how it might apply best to your business. I like to do things differently here. We don't follow a lot of these nationally proclaimed like best business practices, and it seems to be working out pretty well for us. So I like to kind of be the disruptor, and again, it's working out well for us. So I think everyone can kind of find their avenue to success. It doesn't have to copy somebody else. Everyone's an individual, and you should always keep that in mind.
I think that advice you said there is one of the most profound things ever. There are so many people that look for a silver bullet and are like, okay, well, so-and-so said this. And I've watched that cause people to bankrupt or to fall apart or to lose everything. And you have to take that and then sit down and be like, okay. And I like to always start with, just because it works for us does not mean that that's going to work for you. Because it works for us, we have this team. But if you don't have these same bodies or even the same number of bodies, you might not be able to replicate it. And so everything that you get should be taken with a grain of salt, and then get a mixture of everything and make your own magic. And it sounds like that's what you've done, Karly. That's exciting. That's awesome.
Yes.
It's really cool. But
yeah, I've been really, really lucky. Like I said, those mentors for me, way back when, one of the companies had a couple hundred technicians. And so I always kind of would have conversations about the things I was struggling with. And then I'd look at my current software suite and processes and see, like, is there a piece of that like theory that I could apply, or maybe in our software package and make some tweaks that could be affordable and I could scale from, my 25 to their X amount because it's working for them at this size. But yeah, figure out mentors that work for you personality wise, and try to get vulnerable with them. And I think that you can have a lot of explosive growth. It's very specific to our industry, which is exciting, those conversations, and it's going to be great. So I think we're in a really exciting time period at large in our industry. And I think there's incredible operators, or people at every position, both men and women, which is super cool. Both of my mentors were actually women who were operating really incredible businesses that I managed. I stalked them to find them, but it was a cool opportunity.
That's awesome. If you want something, you want to learn it, you got to chase after it. And that's really cool. Well, Karly, it was really cool to catch up with you today and learn all about roles, mechanical, and all this amazing things that you're doing there. And good luck to you in 2026. That's so
I know, it's crazy that that's sneaking up on us already. But thank you so much for being on the show, Karly.
Thanks for having me.
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review at Apple, and make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.